So, with the town being sent where it is, you sent word to Allura Vysoren. She's going to gather a few friends and investigate the ziggurat and see what the nature of this lingering magic is. However, there still stands the part of returning to the council and proving your innocence, amongst other loose threads you wish to pursue. What would you like to do?
Well, we have all that awesome proof, right?
I think we need to head back to Amon.
It's like 80 proof. I'm gonna craft that thing that I've been wanting to craft. So that we talked about.
So for the past few days, okay. You managed to pull apart over the period of a few days Ripley's pistol. You take aspects of white stone and residuum dust as well as residuum glass and begin to reconstruct it based on its elements in a much more refined and a much more, Percival practiced method.
You're very kind.
You attach the fifth barrel, the one that you intend to be used to deliver short-range explosives, and it seems to fit together.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's nothing fancy, and a little part of you goes like, it's rattling a little when you shake it in your hand. But
can I give it a once-over just to?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, this be investigation. Make investigation.
Investigation.
This is more of a thorough.
I hate you.
There's a little
Sorry.
rolled
The
up
difference
flag
between those
pop
rolls
out
are really
that says
impressive.
run on it.
That's where intellect plays off, guys.
Whoa! Okay, I'm just going to point out that I just rolled my die before the game started and rolled a natural 20 on my first roll.
That's true.
5.
Okay.
Oh no.
2016, bitch.
Pretty solid. You think it would be wise to take additional materials with you as you leave, just in case
Oh, yeah.
you want to build something else?
Fuck it, seems legit.
So what's the intent, guys?
So we're heading back to Amon. But we did send a letter ahead.
You sent a letter notifying them of what has happened, that Whitestone has been freed.
And remember I said make sure to tell them how Vox Machina saved the day and how wonderful we are. And
Correct.
he said yes, he would do that.
As far as you know, it's been sent.
Everything's good here for when we go, Percival. Your sister and everyone keep a what's his butt. Everyone's
If
good.
if anything goes wrong, we'll hear about it. And we can come back.
What's going on with the spinning black cube? Are we okay?
Isn't Allura like on her way here? Aren't a lot of people like on their way here?
Yeah, where's
I'm so
Allura?
confused.
That's true, wasn't Allura on her way?
What happened in 2015? Just the whole way through. Start from the beginning.
It's been a year.
Okay.
Well, first there were the dinosaurs.
Yes.
We haven't played since last year.
Last year we were told Allura is coming with a couple of companions to investigate the ziggurat.
Okay.
There was no indication that you were required for that, nor could you really aid in that, given
Okay.
your experience.
Speak for yourself.
Cool.
Well, your vast understanding of arcane elements and the history of magics should come in handy.
How do we do this, Keyleth? And more importantly, how do we do it so that the bear doesn't come with us?
He can fit through the sentry, right?
The sentry is definitely a large enough tree to create the portal in which you could step through. Yeah.
Let's use the sentry.
Yeah, get in there.
All right. So the rest of you guys gather towards the center of the town square in the middle of Whitestone. You approach the sentry, and Keyleth, you step forward.
I say, hey, boo, I'll see you soon.
You hear the tree silently fist bump you through its arcane.
You be good. You take care of you, man.
You hear a voice whisper in the back of your mind, "You too, girl." As you reach
You're
out,
the best tree of all time.
Tolkien would be proud, man.
I think so. I think you would.
Tolkien would be proud.
As you trace your fingers across the surface of the sun tree, its large, curled boughs now starting to sprout remnants of what looks to be fresh leaves. Where your fingers trace, the bark itself seems to glow with a bright, vibrant yellowish-orange color. As you create a full oval shape that would fit most of your party, suddenly there's a sucking sound, and it's like the bark is pulled into a distant doorway, and what you can see, it's almost like someone carved a tunnel through the sun tree that traverses for about 30 or so feet.
Use like cartoon physics.
Essentially.
Yeah. We should go like soon, though, right?
Jump.
Now.
Shoo.
All of you guys come walking through, and it is a short-term tunnel. Immediately you can see the other side of it, and as you step through, all of you come bursting out of the other side of one of the trees that is currently planted inside the Temple to Sarenrae within Greyskull Keep. And behind you, you see Currently wiping down the stone on the front of the temple is in plain clothes, kind of a sleepy-eyed, currently woken up Pike.
Oh!
Mike!
Hi!
What are you doing?
Why are you sleeping outside? You have a bed upstairs.
No, I do. I couldn't sleep.
What? I thought you were in Vasselheim. How long have you been here? So many
Clear that up for
questions. Have you seen the prisoner here?
There's a prisoner here.
You haven't actually. In the time you've been here,
No, I haven't. I've just been cleaning. I've just had such a need to clean.
We actually need him for something. You want to come see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we protect him. Let's go.
Let's go.
And we run out.
okay. As you guys head out of the temple, it leads you into the main foyer area. Stepping out into the foyer, you immediately hear a loud metal clang. Clang, 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 in the hallway around to your right.
Is it my armor just falling apart?
As you come around the corner into the main central hallway of the foyer, you can see there is, to the right is the dining room area, that's closed, and you can smell the breakfast being cooked in the kitchen that's far down to the right of the hallway. To the left is the arcane laboratory. The door is currently ajar, and you hear the rustling from the inside. You can see now there's a few small metallic instruments that have fallen to the ground, and you see a familiar humanoid, red dragon scaled individual who is currently picking up this confounded thing and puts it into a bag and starts tying it up and is currently packing up the laboratory.
I drop my invisibility and go over and give Tibbsy a big hug.
Out of nowhere, he goes, and pushes you away and grabs the staff and spins around.
It's me! It's me! Little, yellow, different, me!
You mustn't sneak up on a stormwind like that.
Sorry, it's been so long and we've been through so much without you. I was overcome, I'm sorry.
As you guys kind of walk in, you see Tiberius seems both surprised and kind of keeping a composure element to him, keeping his chin high. Says,
Greetings and salutations. I'd hoped I'd see you before heading out.
Heading out?
Heading what?
I've spent a few weeks in Draconia and trying to secure aid for us in Whitestone.
Are you from Draconia?
Indeed, I am. But over these past few weeks, I've been continuously balked by my father. By the time I had given up and aimed to join you, word found me of your victory. Thus, I instead remained here in Iman. I've had some time to think. Being here on my own for the better part of a week now, I consider you all friends and fine warriors. Mostly. And I've enjoyed our travels together. And I've learned much, and for that I thank you sincerely. However, and I feel that the path of Vox Machina and the path of Tiberius Stormwind haven't been aligned for some time. And hearing about your victory with the Stormwind, oh, that's me. Your victory with the Briarwoods made me think that while I was sure that you all needed me to protect you, I may have underestimated you all. Perhaps you are quite capable without a Stormwind. And perhaps I am more capable of my own pursuits without distractions. I respect you all very deeply, and hope to continue to hear of your exploits across Tal'Dorei. But I think at this time... He takes his staff and smacks it on the ground and picks up his bag of things. I think at this time this Dragonborn carved his own path.
Tiberius, your friendship was always valued here. I don't think we'd be standing here without you.
That's true.
I will never forget you.
As I shall never forget all of you.
And you can see for a second there's a little tear kind of cresting in his nose, and he kind of like,
Dust me. You know how that goes.
He kind of looks around, takes a moment.
Is there any, speaking as a man who has also had a romantic interest in ladies before, are there any romantic messages you'd like to me to pass on for you or to anyone in this town or others?
You? No.
Turns to Keyleth and takes Keyleth and goes,
If you see her, tell Laura I'm sorry. And she's always welcome to visit me in Draconia.
I will. Bye, Tipsy. And give him a hug.
I'm going to pat you on the shoulder.
I'm very terrible at goodbyes. So,
And kind of steps back.
goodbye.
Kind of flicks his wrist, and you can see a already prepared teleportation circle in the room flash with blue runes as his image, waving towards you, scatters into nothing. The runes die down to a cold, magicless circle.
Safe travels, Stormwind.
Well, shit.
Said the shits.
Oh, we have a prisoner downstairs, huh?
Oh, God,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
We run down to the prison cell.
I stay in and walk around his room a little bit.
Okay. As the rest of you head down, you find your way to the basement. So it's over.
Smiley face.
Why, what's normal?
Yes. All taken care of.
And you visually see a weight off his shoulders. He seems to shrink almost 3 inches from just the full exhale of his body. And kind of a little bit of tears well up in his eyes. He goes, White stone, does it still stand?
It's beautiful.
Aye.
And growing.
I can't wait to get back.
Desmond, dear,
Yes.
before you do, could we ask a small favor of you?
Of course. If you've kept me safe, you saved me.
Would you mind
Most of me.
speaking on our behalf to Emperor Uriel? Emperor?
Yeah,
Sovereign Uriel?
either way.
That'd be great. That'd just be wonderful.
Of course,
Oh,
I'd be
friend.
happy to. It'd be my pleasure.
Is his hand gone?
He's ready for a tumble.
It's missing most of his fingers, and a large part of the upper part of the hand is missing. Yeah, it's bandaged over, and like he's still able to kind of use part of the thumb, and it's
I had a really bad day.
Yeah,
I
I
had a
can-
really
Can I try
bad
doing
day.
a little healing?
You were
on his
possessed.
hand?
I was possessed by an evil smoke
wall.
demon.
Okay.
sure.
Might as well get the dice rolling.
Oh, right. Everyone stand back.
What's happening?
My lady is going to do something.
She's going to try and undo
Just
some of my
guess.
poor decision making.
That's-
Can I inspire her healing?
You can actually, because I'm gonna have a wisdom check from her in a moment as part of
All
it.
right. I'm going to inspire her with a limerick.
Oh. Hi.
2d8 plus 5.
Ryan approves.
There once was a gnome from Iman who sang a scandalous song. The ladies would swoon at his rather large tune and say, "My, it's impossibly long."
That's beautiful.
Wow, that was so inspiring. 15.
Okay, so you heal 15 points. That's good. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Stealing my-
Add your wisdom modifier, which I think is plus 5, and then add another d10 to that because of his inspiration.
Actually, just right.
Natural.
20.
Roll a d10 just add onto it just to see how.
This guy's gonna,
Oh, 10.
this guy's gonna get a brand new hand.
2 hands.
3 hands.
Be like a loser.
4.
Okay. So
We have 2 opposable thumbs
Yeah.
and 1 hand.
So as part of the healing, as you take his hand, you kind of pull the bandages off, and you can still see the wounds are scabbed over, and it's healing, but it's healing over. As you concentrate for a moment and kind of close your eyes, you can see the symbol of Saren right on your neck kind of glows for a moment, and the healing energy transfers down your arms to your forearms to your fingertips and into the wound, and his hand begins to give off its own radiant energy. He kind of freaks out and backs up for a second, but you kind of keep his hand there and calm him down. As the light fades, you can see the wound itself is now closed over entirely, and the part where he can only partially use his thumb and his finger, that section has completely healed over, and both his thumb and his pinky finger are complete now, and it can be used to grab.
Like a claw.
Kind of.
Like a crab.
But it's functional.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do the
That's
shaka.
Perpetually shot.
He's got shaka hand.
Yeah.
Should we go in to meet our jury?
Yeah.
Oh God.
You guys make your way into Amman. You are led into the central foyer chamber of the central palace. The throne room doors open. Stepping towards the central dais is Uriel Taldore, who has not been there previously, apparently has been recently summoned to the chamber through your arrival. As he steps up and kind of sits in his chair, he notices you guys entering with the guards and kind of nods his head for a moment, looks off to the side, and approaching him to join him on top of the platform is Seeker Asum, who apparently has returned.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I owe each and every one of you the deepest apologies. I've only recently cleared my head of a cloud of poor judgment, one that apparently wasn't one of my own making. And you can see he looks generally distraught. There's kind of bags under his eyes a little bit, like he hasn't been sleeping well. And it's also been brought to my attention that the attack within my walls was indeed instigated by the Briarwoods themselves, and that Silas is vampiric in nature. This is the influence that clouded me. This is twice now that I found myself, in spite of all of my protections and intents to defend this city, that I have fallen prey to the wills and whims of some infernal intent. And that is not a way to breed respect or trust in one's leader. I have a lot to think about. Regardless, let it stand that as of this moment, Vox Machina is immediately returned to their place in the council, and all charges against them dropped.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, we've also received a bit of word that you were successful in returning Whitestone to some semblance of new order. Please, if you would.
If you would your majesty, yes, first of all, Whitestone is once again ruled by the Derulo family.
It is good to know.
And I must also, at this point, offer our own apologies, which are in order. While there was a supernatural flame of distrust in your heart, it couldn't have been ignited without the embers of our own rash judgments and poor choices. It is difficult for men of action to necessarily pay attention to the smaller details of their world and their realities, and for this, we do apologize. I wish I could say it would be the last of it, but again, it is a difficult world and we are prone to action. And for that, you have our apologies. I would also offer, my lord, that perhaps these infernal powers are attracted by your innate goodness. And that would be worth meditating upon.
I appreciate your counsel, Percival.
Should we hand over the rest of our
Evidence,
Yeah.
documents for the archives. We did collect quite a bit of paperwork and documentation that would fill in any of the gaps in the history of Whitestone and...
Kind of leans forward, puts his hand out. Please, and anything.
Of course, we gathered this from the palace in Whitestone.
Start thumbing through the paperwork. Asum. He hands it over, and Asum takes him a moment of quiet himself to kind of thumb through, and he's very carefully inspecting and looking about the edges.
Are you looking for something specific?
I'm currently confirming handwriting. One that I deal with quite often.
Someone from this kingdom?
Yes.
Yes,
actually,
that's
that
a
is
thing.
something we discovered on our own.
My liege, these papers do appear to be genuine, and that does indeed appear to be the handwriting of Riskel Daxio.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Uriel takes the papers back and kind
It's not, He's been at my side since I was young. His father, Mikhail, helms our forces at Fort Daxio.
Oh.
Guards! Find and seize Riskel Daxio at once! The guards immediately go to action, like bringing their weapons and scattering outside of the throne room.
Don't forget about Kibble.
Oh, yes.
That's right. I guess we don't need him to
Well, we should
testify.
bring him out just because he's.
In an effort to be.
Otherwise, he just sat around for nothing.
You look behind, and Desmond is standing behind you, all like wide-eyed and so confused and overwhelmed by everything that's happening, and just kind of eagerly awaiting for you to fill him in.
This young man was an unfortunate victim of my wrath when the Briarwoods visited. He is a citizen of Whitestone, and
Yes, I was told of this. The carriageman that you had attacked.
Yes.
I would like to have him be the official letter carrier for any of the first set of correspondence to the new rulers of White Castle. So, since he will be Whitestone, by God, I'm hungry.
Oh, no. So if you could send an order of sliders.
About 12.
Don't forget the mustard.
I'm coming up with this shit. It's not easy.
Might need some gut healing afterwards. Yeah.
I should also mention that my lineage has now been restored to me, and I am now of royal descent once again. And so, and again, with my companion's permission, and we will discuss this in the future, but I'd like to put forward the beginnings of the proper paperwork to perhaps have Greyskull Keep designated as an embassy, with all the privileges and rights that presumes.
That could... No, that will be arranged.
I will confer with my peers.
You're on
Very well.
Whitestone soil.
Yes, we're on
Before we give
our soil now.
before we give Desmond his appointment as a royal messenger, which I guess he is, with the kingdom, he risked much to keep himself alive and possibly to testify on our behalf. Would the kingdom be willing to give him a quick little reward for his time spent in captivity?
Make a persuasion roll.
Not great. 24.
Not great.
Yeah, come on.
He gives a nod and looks to Desmond. Certainly. It is only fair. You've traveled this far and undergone much personal difficulty in aiding us and relieving this darkness in our territory and yours as well. I would like to grant upon him, by my estate, as Sovereign Uriel, a granted gift of 1,000 gold pieces to be sent on his way. You see, Desmond kind of like, I will.
Don't faint.
Don't spend it all in one place, bro.
Desmond, the debt that I owe you is larger than coin, and
What of
is
coins, huh?
Just give him
and
fucking
is ongoing. So if you can think of what sort of trade you would like to spend your next years of life pursuing, whether it be in
Probably not lute playing. I'm gonna just throw that out there.
Wow. Fucking
drums, it
cold.
is. Drums, it is.
Holy shit.
You are a terrible person. I'm a terrible person, but you're the worst.
Yes.
Even
I'm sorry,
I
what were
am
you
taken
saying?
aback. My jaw is
This
just
is
open, like.
bad.
There's an awkward, tense pause for a moment as everyone looks over to Vex, including Uriel. And Sigurd Sum kind of stifles a chuckle.
I know you've just returned. You've already done so much. But it has come to my attention that Riskel Daxio apparently has fled the palace, or at least has not been seen for a number of days. I've sent the guards on it, and Sigurd assume you as well. If you could see if you can gather as much information as you can. But if you find it within your capabilities to seek any information regarding his whereabouts and possibly bring him to justice, I would be very grateful and happy to reward for the destruction of this traitor. You may move swifter than my guard, if previous experience has taught me anything. He kind of looks over to some of his guards who kind of like, what?
Oh, sir, we're standing right here.
You guys are doing a great job. You're great. You look great. You're
Man,
doing great.
we ain't
Thank you,
found
friend.
shit.
Thank you.
Ariel stands up from his throne. Very well. Thank you. And you're all dismissed from this council meeting.
Okay, cool.
That went well.
That did
That
go well.
went
That went
better than I expected, for sure.
I wasn't worried. Who are we tracking down?
Rascal.
The dickhead that built our freaking keep.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of wondering if I was a sneaky bastard.
You're not. Don't say that about yourself.
Thank you so much. I sometimes
I know where
get
you're going with
concerned.
this. You should finish the thought. though.
Yes.
If I was a sneaky bastard and I wanted to make sure.
You're not.
Thank you. And I want to make sure I had an emergency escape route outside of the city and was maybe tasked to build, I don't know, say, our keep within the last year. I kind of feel like we need to start at home here.
Would Gilmore know where this guy has
You
gone?
just really want to see Gilmore.
I mean,
now.
assume would be.
I assume he has
Why
like.
would Gilmore know?
Because he knows
assume.
everything about
Does he?
everyone.
No,
don't
assume
think
is
he
our
He just
best
has really
bet.
nice hair.
Yeah.
I think,
Isn't
yeah.
that the same thing?
It's different from actually knowing things.
I honestly think that
Present
if
company.
assume doesn't know, nobody knows. Assume is our source of information here.
Well, you know what they say when you assume.
Alright, let's go check out his room.
Let's do it. He's just staring at you.
So as you make your way over to Riskel's Daxios' room, the arrangement of the furniture seems to have these glyphs that are inscribed on certain pieces of his furniture that are reminiscent of some of the glyphs that you saw. No, actually, on the ziggurat, there are symbols that are concurrent with some of the writings that you saw inscribed up there. You can't read it necessarily, and they don't appear to be enchanted by any means, at least not anymore. But it appears like there was something about this room that was purposely arranged for some sort of arcane purpose.
Keyleth, Pike, do you know anything about...
Anyone who wants to take a shot at arcane, I would recommend those who are proficient, because this is pretty deep knowledge.
Is someone?
No problem.
I can't do the arcane thing.
I'll do an arcane.
Yep, here's
check.
Will.
Grog is our expert on all things.
Natural 20 grog.
Oh! Natural 20! Oh! Wait, for Grog?
Did he get it? Did he get it?
Oh no, I want to see how this pulls together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, as you all sit around, and pull forth this chair, there's a broken piece of the of the bed that was found as part of the guards rummaging through the rooms. You've seen parts of this arrangement before, and while the runes are different, there is something about the way they're arranged that reminds you of something. And Grog, you immediately remember that the last time that you tried, your party tried to scry into somewhere that didn't want to be scried in, and it was either aggressively ousted or prevented from any sort of intrusion.
The beholder.
There's the same type of arrangement in here. Something about this just says, this room doesn't want you to look at it.
Right, you know, it's funny, but like the pictures that were on the big shape, right? There's something about it that reminds me with this arrangement of that time that we fought that shithead beholder. Yeah, like it doesn't really want us to look in it. Yeah.
Is this like an anti-scrying glyph set?
Having a look at it now that you've given the guidance from Grog, the all arcane seeing
This room
barbarian.
boosts intelligence.
Instincts are just right
Yeah,
there.
it's just a feral thing. You know?
Is there a guard outside of the room?
Yeah, there are 2 guards outside of the room, and there are 2 guards that have kind of stood back and let you guys go about your business.
Should we try and shake one down and ask who was the last person to see him?
Why do we need to shake him down? Hey,
Because that's what I do.
do you know the last time, who the last person was that saw this, gentleman?
That is
As
much less
far as we
exciting.
know, last he was seen was a few days ago. His servant, actually, who's currently being interrogated 2 rooms down, will probably have more information.
What was the servant's name?
Oh, this would be. Hold on, I'll pull this up real fast.
He's looking at his own notes.
The guard. Just keeps
The
notes.
guard goes through all of his notes here.
He's got a little pocketbook.
He's got 2 pieces of toilet paper with charcoal on it.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Servant Jeffrey.
Yes, Jeffrey.
He's being interrogated right now.
I immediately leave the room.
Yeah, let's
and
go
head
do
for
that.
The interrogation room.
I follow Grog.
You two, leave.
The 2 guards immediately step away and leave the room. Do you enter with him?
I do.
Good
Oh,
cop,
yes.
bad cop.
All right, so all of you guys follow in after
Good cop.
Grog.
Grog's a good cop. Look at his face.
I take out Craven Edge
Oh.
and I put it unsheathed next to my foot. You know, there are those
healthy.
that protect life. They just left. Now, whatever me and my mates are gonna ask, you're gonna answer honestly, or your life will be forfeit.
Right.
Don't talk unless you're asked a question.
He left. He walked right out of the laptop
Right,
district.
where did he say he was gonna go?
He didn't tell me. He didn't.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a hard night for me. I'm gonna have to talk him down from this. He gets so worked up.
Just
to
got
kill
it clean.
someone.
I just got it clean.
I
don't know.
Jeffrey, please. It's gonna make more work for me if he has to behead you right now. Please. Please help me help
I
you.
just met a girl.
I mean, I know the answers. The answers are inside of you. If I have to open you up to get to them, I will.
No, there's no answers to find. I'm empty. I don't.
Jeffrey, did your boss get any letters that he stowed away anywhere? Did he have a safekeeping place, a secret residence somewhere in the city walls?
He had a chest, but he took everything out. He left. I don't know. I don't
Did he ever
know.
regularly travel to anywhere in the walls of the city?
I walk up and stand right next to him.
I escorted him once or twice to the graveyard district.
Where specifically?
It was a tavern. It was far beneath him. I found it curious that he would attend.
The tavern's name?
It was
I lay the
that's
sword right on the table and
the
look at
Diamond
the
Nest.
reflection.
The Diamond Nest Tavern. That's the one.
Nest
That's
Tavern.
the Diamond Nest Tavern. He went there, I assumed, to do what young-ish elven men do when they're in stuffy work. I don't know. I didn't go inside.
I feel this has been very helpful.
Yes, you have been quite helpful. Give us the name of that girl so we can send our condolences to her.
No, please,
What was her name, her address
He's
somewhere?
just weeping now, openly, like his
Oh,
hands.
not on the blade. Not on the blade.
You hear a voice like I'd go, no, keep the tears coming.
Can you see in this room right now?
Who are you talking to, Rob?
Something you
What?
can see.
I was saying, can you see in this room right now? Can you see what's happening in this room right now? We are totally intimidating the shit out of Jeffrey. Yeah, look, can you see what's happening in
I
there?
can.
Shut the fuck up.
Grog, what do you think? Should we let him live?
Well, I suppose.
And you guys make your way to the outside of the Diamond Nest Tavern, a familiar tavern to all of you, as you've been here once, or some of you twice before. You see across the way, there's a live band playing, of which, there no one really of note at first. However, Scanlan, you do recognize 2 of the individuals on the far side of the bar.
In the band or on
In the band. There is an individual named Kent Plucker, who is a halfling bard, currently on the lute.
Kent Plucker?
Currently on the loot.
Yep. Which
Kent
you
Plucker
which you
from
had
Seattle.
traveled with previously for quite some time, along with the other individual you recognize, a rowdy-looking but well-dressed half-orc violinist named Dr. Dranzel.
Want to go say hi?
Of course I want to go say hi, but I don't want to distract us from our mission.
No, do your shit, Skyman. We'll
Well,
just look around.
Don't do your
Well,
shit,
not
but
the
say
shit.
hi.
How about you ask to jump in for a tune?
Yeah, we
my
never
God.
get to see you play, Scanlan. Not to your full capacity.
We'll blend in.
I plant my foot firmly into his ass and just shove him towards the 2
We'll
guys.
use dissertation.
I haven't seen them for a while. I don't know how they'll react to seeing me.
As you're getting that word out, you're shoved forward, stumbling, almost being tripped by a few of the patrons, but as you stop and look up, you see before you a young, cute, gnomish girl with very short pixie brown hair, currently playing the flute. Who kind of looks over at you and gives you kind of a winky grin. But behind them all, towering over just by stature, is Dr. Dranzel with his violin. And as you stumble forward, he looks over and just kind of gives you a smile and keeps playing.
Mind if I jump in?
It would be an honor. Scanlan Shortheart, ladies and gentlemen, jump into the fray.
Feast your eyes, feast your ears on quite a traveling troupe of musicians and one humble gnome who is so lucky and humble to join them. Please, keep the tips flowing for us and your waitresses.
And with that, the current song comes to a close. They all lift their instruments expectantly and look towards you.
Let's play our old standard, and a one-y and a two-y and a one-y.
What instrument do you pull out? Or...
The Vuvuzela.
I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna the flute. The flute. I'm gonna
All
play
right.
the flute for a while.
Yeah.
So you go
'Cause
alongside.
the singer sounds good. I don't want to rain on her.
Yeah, no worries. So you pull out your flute, and the other gnomish girl with her flute as well kind of gives you a look, and you guys start weaving together this kind of like flute duel, almost like Flight of the Bumblebees, but two conflicting sides.
Dope.
All right, so as the song builds, people are cheering and shouting, and you bring the drinks over, Keyleth, and you kind of sit them down.
Can me and the other flutist end with an impossibly long-held note?
Make another perform check.
33.
Yeah!
And with that, you both inhale almost like through eye contact. You know what's coming? And you both just hold, and you can see her eyes start to get tense and bloodshot. Her face starts turning beet red. All the rest of the music stops, and everyone just kind of gathers around. The air leaves the room as everyone seems to kind of lean in. And eventually, she gives up and exhales and inhales sharply, dizzied by it, but still smiling, and you can only imagine the blurred romantic tunnel vision she has in your direction as you carry it for about 3 seconds more, and then end with a trill at the end. The whole room just rouses and cheers and clapping.
Kaylee, that was some fine playing. I might have a tip or two about breath control.
Sorry, not all of us are quite as old and seasoned as the others.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I've learned quite a thing or two in my years, and sometimes it would it might interest you to take a little private tutoring session sometime.
Scanlan Shortheart. You know, I've heard quite a bit about you.
My legend is spread far and wide, I'm sure.
Indeed. And I know better than most ladies that may cross your path.
You may change your tune.
Draw
a little help over here.
You had us, and then you lost.
Can I give him inspiration?
What would you like to do to make Scanlan look better in this circumstance?
I will. The man, the myth, and the legend is true. So, in case you wanted to find out.
She gives you a look over. Looks over at Scanlan.
Yeah, that, we're close, we're tight, she and I. She's come back for more.
A holy woman?
Oh, shit.
She's got holes in all the right places.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm doing here.
She actually, at that point, goes... turns around. Doctor, you weren't kidding. This one's certainly a card. And she gives you a wink and passes a drink your way across the table.
So, shits. What do you do? What's your trade? What are you tugging around with?
They're,
Sorry, sap for.
they're powerful warriors, killers, assassins, magic wielders. Not quite as ornery as a bunch of musicians, but still pretty amazing people, and we've had quite a few adventures in the past few years.
So,
Scanlan's a Kingslayer. It's true.
He might not believe you or really anything about me.
You doubt the cube?
There aren't a lot of kings in these lands.
Well, there's one fewer now.
All right, Kingslayer. So I take it you're all experiencing a little skullduggery from time to time, yes?
Drug, that doesn't mean what you think it means.
Oh.
Well, how
yes.
about this? We were thinking of shoving off. We recently got a tip.
As you head to the barkeep, you see a
need a distraction?
dwarven woman
Downstairs.
wearing a simple blouse but pulled up past the elbows. She's currently wiping down part of the front of the. You see her hair is pulled up to a ponytail that kind of drifts past her shoulders down to the center of her chest. And she glances up to you as you approach.
Hey, so what can I get you, dear?
Hi. You have rooms, yes?
We have rooms, eh? Only got one currently not occupied, but
Do you have an older gentleman, elven, battle scars, I describe him, staying here right now? I put a 5 gold pieces onto the countertop. It sure would be wonderful if you could remember anything about him being here, however.
She takes her cloth that she's wiping the counter with, kind of wipes over and pushes the gold coins towards you, pulls back and goes,
sorry, dear, I can't help you.
I walk up by my sister, and where the woman just wiped that away, I take a piece of chalk out of my pocket and write "thieves can't." Not the word thieves can't. I use the thieves can't. Yeah. On the bar and say, in that language, there is a threat here. I can help you deal with it. And that's it.
make a persuasion check.
20.
She looks at it, looks at you, still holding her cloth, wipes it clean on the bar pretty quickly.
You one of them? Kitchen storage room, under the rain, under the rice and grain barrels. Sorry, can't help you. That's unfortunate.
Completely understandable. Thank you for your time. Scanlan, could you have your wonderful friends create a distraction?
I can help them create one.
Just enough so we can slip unnoticed downstairs.
I walk over to Kaylee and I say, "My dear Kaylee, I'm sorry if we got off on a weird foot. I was wondering if I could have a little fun tonight and challenge you to a flute off. We go up on stage, we ask the audience for
A flout off.
A flout off?
suggestions, and we see who can last the longest and blow the hardest. If you win, I'll give you whatever's in my purse,
Fucking bad cap.
and if I win, I get a kiss."
Somehow I think I'm still getting this shit end of the deal.
Yes.
But I'm one for fun at the very least.
Right.
It's a deal.
No, don't worry.
You guys shake on it. Are you waiting till sundown, or are you doing
No,
this now?
we go. Are we waiting till sundown? Is that what's happening?
He already went. I'm gonna follow.
I'm in the kitchen.
It's-
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the first ever flout
Head into
off
the kitchen.
flutist
All right.
off flute duel, featuring me, Scanlan Shorthalt, and you, Kaylee.
Kaylee's fine.
Kaylee's fine, everyone.
And as the band picks up behind you,
Come on, Dr. Dra.
Dr. Dramsel picks up his instruments, and you guys start playing back and forth with your flutes, just picking off, improvising off of the classic. You make another perform check. As it appears
Everybody,
that
give it up for Zed on drums. 24.
all right, Haley is trying to keep up, and you can see her face starting to go red. She's determined on this, and she keeps continuing with with pushing this into an improvisational flurry of notes that completely walks around your performance previously done.
Oh, shit.
And you find yourself having to take a step back as she begins stepping up onto the table, and now, even at her gnomish height, is looking over the entire crowd as people who previously were not as interested are starting to turn around and look towards you two
I
playing.
can't be one-upped. I use minor illusion to create sort of a mirror image of myself over myself, also playing the flute.
Make another performance check with advantage.
22.
22. You can see now the volume of her flute playing begins to pull back as you begin to step up onto the same table next to her, twice as high now with the illusionary Scanlan above you, almost like those awkward middle school superimposed photos of yourself in the upper corner.
The lasers in the background?
Yeah. As the music swells and the drums start picking up, and you see Drenzel's now pulled up his violin and is now furiously fiddling along with it. With this note, you bring once again the same duel that you guys had when you first entered the tavern, and you and Kaylee are facing off, looking directly at each other, furiously going on your flutes.
Just blowing at each other.
Eyes locked, tapping your feet heavily against the actual wood of the table, which is a poof, poof, the rhythmic pounding of your feet and the drums, because the entire room now also slamming their tables in with it as the music builds and builds, until eventually you both take one deep breath and go for that same sustained note a second time. She's challenging you at the game she lost last time. Yes. And the two of you both swell into this cacophonous spray of music that hits this one final note that pierces through, and all the slamming stops, and everyone just waits to hear how long it'll go. It carries and carries and carries and carries and carries. The breath never seems to end. Roll another performance roll.
Come on, Scanlan!
Nails everything. It's a 22, but I'm gonna let her win.
As you begin to trail off the sound of the note, you can see she's starting to already go a little blue in the face, determined to win this, and she's about to falter. You could win this if you want to, but are you going to let her?
With a wink, I end my note.
As the flute leaves your lips and you go into a fake gasp of air, she finishes on a high piercing tune, a trill, and then finishes off, carrying the flute away with a smile as your illusion fades, and the crowd continues.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kaylee's fine! Ladies and gentlemen!
You're good. But I'm better.
I just tip my hat to her and say, "Yes, ma'am. It seems that tonight you are." All right, I kick her. I don't know. What am I? I kick her 100 gold.
What? Excuse me?
Said your
What?
purse.
Is she gonna inspect it?
You
Maybe
reach
if you
over and
let her
just grab
inspect
your
your
purse. Are you going to start thumbing through your purse and pulling out gold?
No, your purse. You bet your purse.
I mean, that was a figure of speech, right?
You totally let her win, and you're gonna give her all your money?
He forgot about that part.
Drunk, he's drunk.
We
He
should
forgot
have.
about it.
I spit in it.
Looks over to Drenzel. Drenzel goes,
I did hear you say a full purse.
Oh, I hope there's so much money in that bag.
He forgot about it.
My dear, a deal is a deal.
The things you do for women.
Give her your money.
Scanlan, don't
What are you doing,
do
Scanlan?
it.
There was a piece of advice that ever lived.
I untie
Do
the
not give
purse
her money.
and I hand it over to
You take any of the gold out secretly before you hand it over to
not
her?
there.
Such a life lesson.
All right. Takes it. How much was in there?
2,600.
Oh!
Holy
Takes the change purse. and-
Oh God! Oh God!
She's gonna
Let
feel
it be
that.
known throughout this tavern that Scanlan Shorthalt is a man of his word.
Thank you, my dear.
Not much else.
She takes the change purse and flicks it away, and it vanishes in a puff of smoke. She goes, it's a lot of coin.
I get around a lot.
Perhaps have a drink later.
And she steps off the table. You open the... leads down below, and you find yourself looking down into a familiar stairway that leads into darkness. And there at the bottom of the stairway is a thick wooden door wrapped in iron bars, or strips of iron to keep it nice and taut and strong. And you can immediately see 5 locks. down the side of the door. You do notice that there is a bit of scratching on the wood next to each lock. Each one is a different language.
Celestial? Elven?
Nothing in Elven.
Dwarvish?
There is a Dwarvish one.
Oh!
You can read that.
I have a belt of dwarven kind that lets me read Dwarvish.
If you could read.
That's okay. You could tell me. Yeah, you could tell
But
me.
wait, it sounds like the abyssal ones are the
Why
ones
don't
that you
you
have
read
to do.
it to me, and then I'll tell you what it is,
Yeah,
and
but
then it'll be
those say
like
enter.
teamwork.
Okay.
I don't know what the other ones say, though.
Well, you already popped the top lock and nothing happened, right?
No.
So there's two that
Oh, yeah.
are
Maybe
trapped.
maybe that's the
Two
code.
that are
is the
trapped,
one
yeah.
that-
All right,
The
I'm
second
gonna
trap.
attempt to disarm the two that are trapped.
Why are you?
Yeah, do that.
No, do the ones that
What
are.
are you doing?
This
Why?
affects you.
It makes
you
perfect sense.
dark
It's like an alarm
sword wielding
code.
dick.
No, I'm serious. You had a good thought.
Why would you do that? Do
Why
the
don't
ones
you-
that aren't trapped first.
Everybody, wait. Everybody, please walk up the stairs 10 feet, please.
Oh,
Leave
happily.
me alone. Yeah, walk up the stairs 10 feet.
But we won't
I'm
be able
walking
to see.
away.
But do the
You're
ones
all
that
gonna
are
see it.
first.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to open the door, you literal asshole.
By
but I don't
fucking
want
with a
you to
tra-
get burned while I get burned.
I won't be burned because you're not gonna mess with the traps. Just do the ones that aren't trapped.
Just unlock.
I walk
just
forward and I
first.
grab.
No, get the.
I grab Scanlan and everybody, and I back everybody up.
Okay. Pull
Get out of
Scanlan
here.
back. Everyone's in the back.
The ones that aren't trapped first.
All right, I'm gonna
Please.
quickly inspire him
What?
to
Just
just
say
say
it
this
more.
fucking
Maybe it's like
ass.
disarming a
Unlock
code.
the ones that aren't.
Because maybe if you do the ones that are
first.
trapped,
They
then it sets off.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Just
I'm
unlock
gonna,
them.
I'm gonna
It's all
quickly,
right. We're
I'm gonna
all gonna
quickly
learn a
inspire
valuable
him.
lesson.
Sure.
Okay, how are you inspiring him?
Okay.
I'm
You're
gonna
playing
play-
music in the background.
I'm gonna read him a limerick.
Go for it.
I knew a Goliath in Whitestone
Whitestone.
who lived in a very, very fine home. Till one day a wizard, or maybe a large lizard, burned it and left him alone.
Okay, so of the 5, at the top and the bottom and the middle, it's Abyssal, Dwarven, and I checked those for traps and there aren't any, so I'm
Right.
gonna
Unlock them.
unlock them. Yeah, I'm gonna open the door.
You're gonna what?
You push the door open.
Push the
Okay.
door open.
As you push on the door, the two locks on there give no resistance. It seems they were both false locks. And as the door slowly pushes open, you get the feeling that perhaps the traps were based on the attempt to pick them or disarm them.
Good job. Good job, brother.
Good job, man.
High five.
No high five.
Just maybe just like a touch then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice job, man.
Nice job, man.
I'm gonna call
We could
out.
try that first.
I'm calling out.
And
Member
then-
of the clasp entering. I need to parlay.
A moment passes, and you see, stepping out of both sides of the hallway, a number of hooded figures. As you guys all stand there, kind of in the center of the
I
hallway.
do start unlacing, and I say, "I'm one of you," and I show the tattoo on my back.
Okay. As this happens, you can see there's a part in the crowd, and one much larger than the rest members of the class steps forward, kind of pushing the others out of the way.
Sovereign Uriel knows you have Daxio here. Uriel wants him. You are in danger. This whole organization is in danger with you here.
Silence! Who else knows you're here?
Not a soul.
Wait a second. I do know you. Customs department, wasn't it?
I've been promoted since then. I'm now a supervisor of. It was a ruse. I apologize for it.
As we found out.
He's a traitor to the kingdom. Uriel wants him. You are bringing danger upon this house.
Uriel's useless.
Uriel has a lot of gold and will probably give a reward.
We have our hand in their coffers, whether we get a reward or not.
Not the kind of reward he's already offering you. We come bearing an offering from Sovereign Uriel himself in exchange for this man. I reach into my bag and I produce
No gold. No money.
the very elegantly carved box I had made that contains the magical blue shard that we discovered many, many years ago. And I open it just for a moment and close it and say, this is the Shard of Kara. It is a magical item that can grant the user one wish. Any wish.
But Scanlan, you said we were going to keep that for ourselves.
I did. But it's clear that this man knows who we are and why we've come.
No.
As a last resort, we are cleared to offer this to you.
Make a deception check.
Can I help him? Can I assist that?
You know what? You would be. So go ahead and that would give you advantage on this. Okay. So.
Deception or persuasion?
This is deception.
32.
Living.
Let me see your box.
Oh, well.
Hush! Very well. We have him in holding, awaiting his documents. I'll show you. I'll leave the door open. We'll clear the halls. Do what you must. We will not be involved. You have an hour.
That's all we need.
So, as you guys move into the hallway, a bunch of the class members leave. You're led down a couple of doors on the left and right. You guys recognize these. These are the holding cells.
Oh. Daxio, we've got your papers. Come on.
So,
Standing in place.
as you
He thinks you're going in.
push in the doorway, quietly, you see, for a moment inside, you can see there's a little bit of light from the overhead in the room that kind of lights it up. You see in the distance what looks to be a latrine in the far corner, and as soon as you peek in the doorway, you glance out the side of your eye line and immediately see a figure and a flash of metal. All right.
We don't want to kill
We have now officially, as of this moment, entered combat. Vex, you're up first.
I call out, Daxio! Don't be a moron! Step outside and lower your weapon. You're surrounded.
That's nice.
Go make an intimidation check.
Man.
Do it.
All right, that brings us to Grog.
I bellow out. You're in for the fight of your life if you don't drop your polearm. The next thing that hits the ground if you don't will be your skull.
Are you using your action to intimidate?
Yes.
Okay, go and roll an intimidate check. Scanlan, what are you doing?
I will, with my bonus, can I talk to him?
Yeah.
I will say, hey man, just give up already, come on! Come on! That's my intimidation.
Make an intimidation check. Back up, Vex.
All right, I guess I walk. Look at us all bunched up in this little hole.
Yeah, this is a bad circumstance for a party.
I'm gonna stay where I am,
Okay.
and I'm gonna just call out, you're being really stupid, obviously. You are outnumbered. You are frozen. You should probably just, give up. Give up.
Okay, Scanlan, you're up.
Me? Jesus. Hey! Hey, dude! Come on!
Hey!
Can you give up, please? Can you please give up? I'm just gonna intimidate him again.
Okay. Roll an intimidation check.
Come on, roll so high.
22.
Okay. You get the sense now that these rounds of perpetual pressuring Daxio and now recovering his position in this fight, and you guys have stepped into this room with him, he's become less of a sensible individual and more of a desperate man lashing out as a last stand. And your intimidation shouts are falling upon deaf ears.
Can I spiritual weapon? I want to make a lasso again.
Okay.
Lariat.
All right.
A lariat, maybe with a little stinger on the end.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Just to listen.
Holy
All right. Put a little lasso there. A little something lasso.
So his arms,
Well, we have to see if
it works.
If it works. So go ahead and roll and add your spell attack.
Feel free.
It has advantage because he's prone still.
Oh shit. Okay, I already committed to this one.
It has advantage.
Yeah! That
Natural
would
20?
be a natural 20.
Right. He is also now grappled.
He's grappled.
Also now grappled?
Correct.
Okay.
Alrighty. Grog.
I'm gonna take manacles out of the bag of holding, since he's holding his arms are pinned to his chest, and I'm gonna clasp it on both of his wrists.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna pick that motherfucker up on my shoulder and walk out of the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it comes to Daxio's turn, who's currently trying to resist the grappling and your attempt at doing
Spirit
that.
weapon in there.
It's going to be it's a natural 20 on an athletics check.
Yeah, but he's got his ankles tied up.
Not no more, he don't.
Ankles tied up.
Ankles tied, and he's got manacles
Well,
on.
your turn
Manacles
was
too.
yeah, the manacles are there. Your turn was to lift him up and slam him into the wall, and you're beginning to wrap him up. His turn immediately afterward is he breaks out of the lasso.
Spirit weapon.
The spirit weapon lasso, and at that point still manages to get back with half the movement onto his feet, and still has the manacles on, which holding the polearm right now wouldn't do too much of a disadvantage to him. So I'm going to say for this round it doesn't do anything.
I didn't roll for this. Except he gets to hold his.
I know it'd be
If
close.
the manacles are pretty
grip.
tight.
He wouldn't
Come
be able
on,
to like
if
get a
you
firm grip on the swing. He'd be
Be
like,
a hard ass.
Fine.
Could be worth a
Alright.
disadvantage.
Fighter.
As a staff user, that's
pretty
doesn't give you
hard.
a whole lot.
No, but it gives you something.
He's
It gives
trained
you
for
something,
years.
I
Right. So
guess.
disadvantage on the attacks with this, but they're all against Keyleth.
oh no.
To the team.
You know what? Bring it, bitch.
So Daxia gets up with that, whoosh, slams it around and hits you right about the kneecap. The blade hits the armor and it guards most of it, but the sheer force of the impact knocks you off your feet and you land face down on the ground in front. With that, Daxio uses that momentum of the strike to go and use the action surge ability. It's going to do 3 more strikes against your now prone self. So even with disadvantage, you're prone, so each attack has no disadvantage against you.
He's gotta die.
He's gonna die.
We're trying too hard.
It's a natural 20 on the first one.
Okay.
So all 3 hit. The first one being a
This is
critical.
all for that staff
I
comment?
got you, girl. I got you, girl.
That's
This
all,
is-
still all for that staff comment?
That's harsh.
Pretty much.
It's pretty harsh,
Oh, that's harsh.
Harsh.
but also given the circumstance that you were from his perspective, the one that was trying to hold him in place too. And Grog hasn't taken much visual impact from the blows. And you're the one that's currently protecting him from rushing out that direction. Say what you want. But anyway, that is... cool.
But
What are you
That
at?
ends Daxio's turn. You're up, Keyleth.
oh wait,
Oh, no, Percy, you're making your action. That's right.
in that case, I'm just going to take two sharpshooter shots to drag him down a little bit.
Okay.
23 points of damage,
All right.
and that's all she wrote.
How do you want to do this?
Wait, keep him alive.
I want to take both of those shots and try and graze his collarbones with both those shots. It'll heal, but he's going to have a really hard time lifting his arms for like the next couple months.
Okay. So with those shots, a splash of blood with bits of splintered bone come shooting out of the half-plate armor that he's been wearing as the metal itself kind of blows open from the impact of the first blast. With the glaive still clinking to the ground behind him and him reacting, the first impact sends him back and he leans up against the wall, looks up to see the source of the impact, looks into your eyes for a second, and before he has a moment of reaction, the second blast comes out, shattering the other part of the clavicle. You can now see the armor sundered on each shoulder and blood beginning to pour over the sides of where the armor has been torn. He kind of slumps to the ground.
You're lucky, it'll even heal.
Do what you must. But I am his blood. His dominion will call back. Call me back when everything else has fallen into nothing.
Are you talking about Dres...
Nope.
No?
Vecna? Are you talking about Vecna? I say yes.
Oh yeah, that didn't go very well. I'm afraid you might be out of luck.
Yes.
We got about 50 more minutes in here. What say we drag this
Let's get
asshole
this
out of here?
Grog, tie him up!
With Daxio over your shoulder, you guys quickly head back into the hallway, emptied. The doorway still lies open where you guys left it.
I tell them I'll catch up, guys. I have to say goodbye to my mates.
Hurry.
In the time that's passed, you can see now your band with Dr. Dressel. They're all gathered together and they're finishing up their drinks, and it looks like they're ready to go ahead and find their way out on the town for the evening. And as soon as you walk into the room, they all kind of look over.
Scatterling! Good to see you, friend.
Hi. Sorry, I disappeared there for a while. I just got a little distracted. Just wanted to say it was wonderful running into you. If you'll be around for another week, you said?
Another week, yes.
Well, our paths may cross again, and if you know or can ask around where Greyskull Keep is, come pay us a visit. I would love to talk to you about the past and history and your travels and mine, all right?
All right. Greyskull Keep, you say?
It's actually called Greyskull Embassy now.
You're an ass. I'll see you at your keep.
And I turn to, what is her name, Kaylee?
Kaylee, who is already behind you.
Oh.
And as you turn, she goes,
Greyskull Keep, is it?
Yes, it is. My room's on the second floor.
All right.
Playing the long game over it.
Yeah.
You step out of the tavern, meet with the rest of your allies, and as the sun sets on the distant western sky over Iman, Vox Machina makes its way back to its keep with its current quarry. And we'll end it for tonight.
We're taking it to Uriel, right?
We gotta take this guy to Uriel.
Yeah. We're gonna jump off
straight
our
to
track.
And you make a quick turn and start heading back towards the top district. And that's where we'll end it for the evening.
Walk up into the sunset, credits roll, they turn right.